Hello everyone, I just want to give you a quick overview of my new Unity asset called Texture Channel Manager. You can see in the scene I've got here, it's just a black sphere with a standard specular setup in Unity 5. The asset also works as far back as Unity 4.5. So what I want to do is I want to add a specular gloss map to our ball. And ordinarily to do that, you would have your specular map, and we'll pretend this is something useful. And then you would have your gloss map, and again we'll pretend this is something that you would actually use in a game. But what you do in the ordinary workflow is to apply your gloss map to the alpha channel of your specular map, and you end up with something that looks like this. But this makes it a little hard to work with for authoring purposes, to make changes to and to adjust, and especially if you want to use the same texture in your modeling program, because then your model becomes transparent in your modeling program. So Texture Channel Manager is designed to help alleviate some of that difficulty. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to Unity. And I've already got those two textures saved, and I put them in a separate folder called TCM textures because I want to keep the textures separate between the ones that are going to go into my game and the ones that are source images. But the first thing we have to do is we have to select both of them, and we have to make some changes to the import settings so Texture Channel Manager can use it. And to do that, we're going to change it to the advanced type of texture. We're going to turn on read-write enabled, and we're going to turn off generate maps because we don't need them. These settings down here don't matter too much because these files aren't actually going to go into your game. It's the final output that's going to go into your game. So if you don't want them to be compressed, if you want to have the best possible import source, that you can set it to true color and it's not going to affect the memory requirements of your final product at all. And you can also set it to any size you want, but Texture Channel Manager is going to work faster if you set it to a smaller size. So just set this to whatever size you're going to import the final image as, the one that you use in your game. So I'm going to go ahead and apply those settings, and then I'm going to go up to Window, Texture Channel Manager, and Create Texture. Then I'm going to simply drag in my specular map to the RGB channel and my gloss map to the alpha channel, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to save it to the textures folder, and I'm just going to call it ball. And now Texture Channel Manager is going to save out two files, and I'll show you those. Let me go over here to the folder here. You can see you've got the final output, and the alpha channel is in there. You just can't see it because alpha transparency is not checked, and that's how we want things to be, so we're going to leave it like that. And it also creates an asset that it uses to keep track of the changes. And this is also how you can reopen it in Texture Channel Manager if you've closed it. So let's just go ahead and close it and go ahead and reopen it, so see how that works. Now, force update is in there. If for some reason it isn't automatically updated, that option is there, but you shouldn't need it, and I'll show you how that works later on. I'll show you why you shouldn't need it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to our sphere, and I don't know why I left that folder. We're going to go back there, go back to this sphere, and we're going to drag the texture we created onto our specular map, and you can see Texture Channel Manager combined them. So you got the specular map and the gloss map are working nice. But let's say we decide that checkerboard pattern is a little too intense. Instead of having to go back here in GIMP and make those changes here and then recombine the texture and re-export it and all that good stuff, we can just go open it back up in Texture Channel Manager, and let's just turn down the contrast and save it back out. And you can see everything is automatically updated in your file or on your material. But let's say you want to make more significant changes to the actual source images, and that works fine too. So let's say we come over here to our specular map and let's just draw on it. I'm going to draw enough to make sure you can see it at all the angles. So we'll draw on it, and we'll just go ahead and overwrite it. And this is going to take a few seconds because I have an old computer. So let's just let this go ahead and save out, and it'll be done any second now. Okay, so we're going to come back into Unity, and you can see it's automatically updated. So that makes things pretty easy for working with these tools, because you no longer have to worry about keeping those channels separate and then recombining them. You can make changes right on the fly to the individual source image, and it'll automatically get imported into your project and just work correctly. Now, some shaders actually require you, rather than having one image in the RGB channel and the other in the alpha channel, they require a separate map in each of the 4 channels, or several of the 4 channels. And Texture Channel Manager can take care of that as well. If we go to Create Texture, you can see we can switch it to R plus G plus B plus A mode, and you've got all 4 of them, and it will combine those 4 the same way it combined the 2 that we used before. Except, well, it's not really an except, but let's go ahead and go back to our source images here. If we drag this in here, you'll see that it now converts it to grayscale because it's only 1 channel. And that about covers it. That's the asset in a nutshell. So thanks for watching, and it should be available on the Unity asset source soon if it's not already.